Hi, and welcome to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my brilliantly beautiful, ever wonderful two co-hosts, Judy Loge and Audrey Lynch, of course.
Hello, back to you, Veronique, and everything you said, and welcome to our viewers.
Well,
yes,
I mean, we gotta tell each other, right?
Yep,
yes.
build each other up. I love it.
That's right. Yeah. So we are together again. We've got a fantastic show lined up today about everything to do around here, outside and inside. And well, I mean, I think we're all sick of winter and sick of, the C word and all of that stuff.
Yes,
So, we gotta start thinking about things that we can do these days. But before we do that, let's dive right into everything we've got to talk about. And Audrey, you have our quote today.
I do. I came across this little saying, and it's about how to make your 2022, your year 2022, your year. And it's by keeping it simple. So I have 7 points that you have to do to keep 2022 your year. All set?
Okay.
First, count your blessings first. Okay. Number 2, do it better than you did last year. Number 3, go step by step, one step at a time. And number 4, create or make your own opportunities. Number 5, believe in your own abilities at all times. Number 6, quitting is not an option. Keep going. And number 7, finish what you started. And 2022 will be your year.
That's awesome.
I thought that was great.
It is great. And I definitely do every single day and night count my blessings. That's absolutely the first thing on your list. And that's what I do endlessly because I feel so grateful for the many blessings in my life. And the only thing on that list I have a little trouble with is going step by step, one step at a time. I tend to try to get everything done too fast, too soon. So in other words, if I'm going to house clean, like spring clean, rather than do it gently, gradually, a drawer here, a closet there, organize this, I try to do way too much, way too soon. And I just do myself in and then it gets discouraging. So I do want to quit sometimes and say, I'll just wait for another week. But that's my key is to doing things baby steps. That's the biggest lesson you want to learn from your list. Yes.
Okay. Veronique?
Well, I'm kind of like Judy, right? I tend to skip the steps. And so, I'm like, well, I'm just going to get it all done and just, rush through it. So that's a really good one for me is to remember to think about those, step by step and day by day. And sometimes, and I know a lot of people, I know a lot of my friends feel the same way, is not that I lack confidence in my abilities necessarily, but it's that imposter syndrome thought that kind of creeps into the back of your head. Like, I just took 3 days off work and it's the first vacation I've taken for quite a while. And I was having a conversation with somebody on my team and I said to her, I had sent out like a flurry of emails so that I could cover every possible subject while I was gone away. And she was replacing me. She was acting in my place. And she said, like, it's going to be okay. It's just 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm worried that like you guys will figure out that I'm not, that I'm not that smart, that I'm not really on top of everything, that I'm not really, I don't have it all together. And that, that everybody can do this job better than I can. And she laughed and she goes, I have that same feeling every day. Yeah. And I'm like, and I know that I know a lot of people have that imposter syndrome. Like, somebody's going to find out that I'm not who I, think I am or who I try to be. Yeah. So I don't doubt my abilities, but I doubt that other people think that I have those abilities. If that makes sense.
Okay. Well, that's a good list to refer to. Well, I'll keep an eye on that list.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about, like, we've all been busy lately, and it's funny because, the world is kind of starting to get back to, some sort of routine and we'll call it as normal can be at this point. But what have you been doing lately that's been fun?
Did you want to go ahead? Are you having too much fun, Audrey?
Go ahead, Judy. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've missed fun. People say, how have you, been standing this for so long with the COVID? A lot of people are inside people anyway. They don't like to be out in public, or they're not extroverted people, and that just sits well with them. But I am not one of those people. I love to mingle and mix and be social and see people and take part in anything that's fun. And so as things are just starting to open up, I've started slowly, of course, because I'm not going to go out there and go full on wild the first week or so that restrictions are being lifted gently. I did go to a couple of movies. One I went to with my sister. It was called Miramichi, and I knew it was going to be light, fluffy, and cute, but that's exactly what I needed. Something that was kind of fairy tale like, that would just take me away, put a smile on my face. You would have to think about it, but it was entertaining. So that was my first little bit of, this is nice. This is fun, just to get out and go to a movie theater, which I hadn't done at all since COVID. And then my son and my eldest son, our eldest son, I should be including my husband in this conversation. Our oldest boy, Evan, came home with his girlfriend. We hadn't seen them since Christmas, so they were here for 3 nights, and I absolutely enjoyed every minute of having them this past week and weekend. We went to the movie Dog, and so that was very interesting as well. And I won't tell anyone who hasn't had a chance to see it, but it involves a veteran and his dog, and it was heartwarming, and we had some tears going, but they were emotionally good tears. And we've just been doing some really good meals and having a little bit more connecting time with family. And I'm getting out a little bit more than I normally would. And I'm feeling spring is in the air.
Awesome. How about you, Audrey? What have you been doing these days?
For me, it's been much more of a struggle to have fun, just because I'm just coming on the end of getting caught up with our last shutdown, believe it or not. It took me like 4 to 5 weeks to filter all those 40 some clients into the month, and not to be working like 50, 60-hour weeks. So I'm coming off the end of that, and with the restrictions lifting, I'm looking forward to it. But I still took the time to do what I felt was fun, and to have me time. So being a movie buff and not getting to the movies was a thing. So of course I resorted to Netflix, and I got into lots of movies there, but I did get into a couple of series. And the one that I look forward to pouring myself a glass of wine and curling up on the couch and going and truly enjoying is the series called The Afterlife. And it's got the comedian Ricky Gervais. And if you've ever heard Ricky Gervais, he's absolutely hilarious, so charming. He's really dry and can sometimes be crude with his humor. And then that British accent just does it for me as well. But The Afterlife is a really, really good series for, it made you laugh, it made you cry. And then there was parts of it that you were like, did he just say that? Or did I just see that? It was a little on the crude side. So it had a little bit of everything. It really did. And I look forward to that. And that made me feel good and help me unwind. And then, off and do it all over again. But I'm really looking forward to the restrictions being down, and going to my very first movie out, or my very first dinner outside of home and stuff like that, where I truly feel that, things are, getting back to normal.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a feeling. Yeah. What about you, Veronique?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I took a little staycation, I called it, this weekend, and as I said, I hadn't taken that much time off in the last year. So, Mom's youngest sister, Andrea, is visiting, and so we love having her. She visits from Alberta. Normally, she would come, 2 or 3 times a year, but of course, with COVID, it's been a lot less. So she's been with us for a couple of weeks now, and really lucky to have her visiting. So I actually Did not too much this weekend. I watched a lot of Netflix myself. I am completely and totally hooked on a series on Netflix called Sweet Magnolias, and I finished it, unfortunately, and now wishing for the next season to come out. It's not heavy, but it's got some great life lessons in it as well, and it's about three best friends that are women. So, but we went to brunch on Saturday. I ordered some takeout on Friday night and just kind of had a really great kind of not connected to a screen kind of weekend, right? Because I stare at a screen all day long, and I'm noticing like my fatigue is getting worse and worse as I do that. So it was just really nice to disconnect from the little box and just kind of veg out and not do a whole lot. So, but you know what? There's some really great stuff coming up here in the region in the next few weeks. So I just want to mention those quickly before we move on to Judy's got some great thought-provoking questions for us. So there's two things happening in the very short period of time. So yeah, I know. So this Saturday, Saturday, March 12th at 7 p.m. at Carrefour Beausoleil, Susan Butler is going to be on stage again with the Nelson Doyle dancers, Jimmy Lawler, Donna and Tyrone Hubbard, and some other special guests. So, great show to take in. Wonderful to see the Nelson Doyle dancers back on stage. And of course, everything that Susan Butler does is fantastic. Tickets are $17. You can get them online. And then not too long after that, there is an Easter market hosted by Eileen Teslenko, and really looking forward to that. It's crafts and baked goods and all sorts of things, farmers market type things that you can see. They're going to be Sunday, March 27th at the exhibition building, and it's free admission. So really some great things coming up in the region here in Miramichi over the next little bit. But Judy, you always have some great questions, so we're going to go to you for a good one.
Well, I think if we mightn't have time, so we might just all get to answer this one question, and that would be, I'll start off with you, Veronique. If you could open up your own spot, like your own space, for example, a therapy room or like a large resort or a family fun place, whatever your idea might be, what would you, if you had endless amount of dollars, open up so that would benefit people in the way that you would want to see them benefited?
There's a couple things I would do if I could. One, I would love to open or to own a resort, with, especially here on the water. We have such a beautiful landscape here. That place where people can come and make memories and be included in kind of their life moments, like we did at the restaurant. We had a wedding at the restaurant, we had anniversaries, we had all sorts of stuff, proposals, all that kind of stuff. So I would love to do something like that, but I would also actually love to include mental health component. And I know I talk so much about mental health, but it's because it's so critical. But an opportunity for people to get the help and support that they need, right? And we have wonderful, wonderful practitioners here in the region, but their waiting lists are so long, right? Their waiting lists are so long. So those are options. But to be honest with you, I always dreamed of opening a foundation to help nonprofits, right? Look for funding, board governance, applications, all of those kinds of things that they struggle with. I would love to do something like that, but pie in the sky.
But never say never. One of those things could happen down the road. Audrey, any dreams if you just could open up a spot for something essential, something that would make your heart happy? What it would be?
And just off the top of my head, when you say that, what instantly comes to me is if money wasn't an issue and space and all of that, like you said, and I can open anything I want and start something, it would be an animal sanctuary where I could have so many different kinds of animals from all over. Obviously, I'd have to be located where, I'd be able to look after those animals and have that mental health component be part of it, where, not like almost like I guess for the lack of a better word, someone would call that a glorified petting zoo. But to be able to, rehabilitate animals and bring them back and just connect them with humans and animals. I think of Jane Goodall is where I get this from. Anytime I've ever watched her, I was like, it was drawn to that, like how amazing that would be to be in the jungle and to be able to be that close and that connect with, animals on a different level altogether. And just to bring that all around, definitely I watch a lot of animal videos and rescues and survival and things like that. And that would be a passion of mine, to be able to help in that way.
Yes. Beautiful.
Awesome. How about you, Judy?
Have amazing ideas. Well, I think that I'm kind of on the same wave as both of you. So 3 great minds think alike, because mental health jumped to my mind too. And it was something, as you said, Veronique, not as in therapy and professionals that we, that people turn to every day for their mental needs and help getting through crises. Mine would be more of a big like center where people could come together and just break out. There could be therapeutic things like a lovely like yoga section and a pool where people could enjoy relaxation, physical benefits, and maybe like Audrey, your idea of animals, you could do some horseback riding in one area, just something that's all healthy. But you know what somebody said to me, and it's been more than one person that said it to me over a number of years, wouldn't it be nice just to have a great big area where people could come and just find someone that they can relate to that's going through something similar to themselves? Not, I have, for example, I have OCD. I need to go to a mental health counselor. Talk to somebody else that has OCD, or somebody else might have bulimia. Well, so what did you go through and how did you get better? And just talking the real talk, not having counselors walk you through it, and which is a great idea, obviously, but real talk, just sitting, telling your stories to each other and having somebody that can empathize with you, and you're not alone. Absolutely. And you're not going into a very formal setting with a psychiatrist or a psychologist rather, or a therapist saying, let's get this session underway. It's more of an open, relaxed coffee in one hand or a cup of tea in another. Conversation. And some munchies. Yeah, conversation, but held with a large group of interested people for no charge. No charge. Yeah. If you want to ride the horses or the maintenance of the horses, there could be a fee, but I would love to see a great big area like that is what I would love to see.
That. Yeah, love that.
Great idea.
So thanks, ladies. We have an amazing show lined up. We have 2 great guests that are going to be joining us today to talk to us about, all of the things that we can do as family and as people in the city of Miramichi and around the region. So don't go away, everybody. Grab a snack, as I always say, because I love snacks. Listen, it's all about the snacks, really, at the end of the day. Grab a snack. Grab your favorite beverage. Soon we'll be having those ice-cold beverages rather than the hot ones. But don't go too far. We have 2 amazing guests that are going to be joining us right after the break. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my ever stunningly beautiful co-hosts, Judy Loge and Audrey Lynch.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Hi, Veronique. Aha.
Well, listen, if we can't amp each other up, who's going to do it, right?
Okay, beautiful.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I'm good with it. So we have a full show today, as we always do, and some great local things to do around the region here in Miramichi. So I'm going to welcome our very first guest today, Holly Allison from the city of Miramichi. And I want to get her title right. So she is the Community Development Coordinator for the city of Miramichi. Welcome, Holly.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Nice
We're
having
so
you,
glad
Holly.
to have you.
Yeah.
So listen, there's a ton of stuff that goes on at the city of Miramichi. I'm learning that as a new city councilor in this term. I'm learning that there is so much happening on a daily basis in the city that we know nothing about. So I'm really glad that you're going to be here to talk to us a bit about some of the programs. So tell us a bit about you though before we get started. So who's Holly?
Well, I've been with the city of Miramichi now 14 years. I started off in aquatics, so I did that for 12 years, and 3.5 years ago I switched to my new role as community development coordinator. And I guess before that I was a lifeguard for about 4 years, so I've been with the city a long time. So that's me.
Well, and that's quite the handle you've got there. Community development coordinator is quite the handle to say. So anyway, we're listening. We're very excited to hear all about it today.
Need to practice a little bit more. It's only been 3.5 years.
Good stuff.
Okay, Holly, with that nice big handle, can you give us an idea of what type of work is it that you do for the city of Miramichi?
So I do a lot of programming for all ages. I work with community groups throughout the community and help sports and organizations get funding through grant programs and different things like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
So Holly, I'm interested, and the viewers are probably interested in the many, many programs that are run through the recreation department. So could you just go over some of those that are offered?
Sure. Well, actually, this week is March break, so we got a lot of things going on. Every day there's something for families or kids, whether it's swimming or winter carnival. We have a March break shootout that's happening on Wednesday for grades 4 to 9, so there's lots going on. But during our regular time, and actually just recently, we were pretty much able to open up everything now that our COVID restrictions are lifting. So we do everything from public skating, public swimming. We have open activities for all ages. Every Friday night I have a youth program. So that's grades 5 to 12, and they can come and go swimming or play up in the gym. And then we have a games room off to the side with ping pong and pool and different things. We're having a senior bingo coming up on March 21st, so it's actually $2 for 10 games, which is pretty good, and it's our first senior event of the year, so that's huge that we're able to do that now. So lots of different things. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch. We have walking central every day. We have senior swim in the morning and then lap swim. Many different things that kind of go on. Badminton, pickleball. So
just before the next host asks a question, could I just ask you about the walkthrough program? So if I'm a senior and want to go and walk laps, what hours would I be able to do that? Is that all year round? You said from what time to what time, and what's the fee to do that?
So not all year. It's September to May because we use our facility in the summertime for our day camps, and every morning from Monday to Friday from 9 to 12.
9 until 12. And it's just how much is it to go in there?
$3. Pretty much all of our drop-in programs are $3.
And you can walk as long as you want.
Yes, from 9 to 12. Yeah.
Good. You might just see me there.
I hope so.
I know. Well, actually my mom has done that. She loves walking around in the Golden Hawk because, she doesn't slip and it's she can sit down when she's tired, which is great. So listen, I have heard so much about pickleball. I know nothing about it. What is why is it such a big thing all of a sudden that everybody wants to play pickleball? What the heck is it?
Well, it's basically a combination, I would say, between badminton and table tennis. And I think it's just because it's easy to learn, easy to pick up, and it's for all ages, and it's very addicting. So once you start, I've heard, I don't play it myself, but once you start, you can't stop. So
okay,
interesting.
Fun.
Holly, what do you have specific for the younger children to do for activities?
What age would you be looking at for younger?
Well, what are the age groups? Do you have them split up specifically?
It depends on the program. So if you're looking at for like kids under school age, on Fridays we have a drop-in tots and gym program, so they can go to the gym, they go to the pool first and then they can go up to the gym and play. We offer swimming lessons. And then there's a lot of outside organizations that are in our facility that the city per se doesn't run, but we partner with, like such things as gymnastics, taekwondo, there's different options.
I'm
Awesome.
kind of interested in the family aspect. I find that, and Veronique can, and Audrey will know too, that we have a lot of newcomers to the city, which is wonderful. That's what we want, is to build up our population in our gorgeous city. And families seem to want to be looking for things to do in their own little circles. So what do you have for moms, dads, or single parents and their kids, or even grandparents and relatives, families combined for activity?
Well, right now for families, we have all of our public swims would be accessible, our public skates, open gym time. So every Saturday at the Golden Hawk in the afternoon, we have open activity. So the gym's wide open for anything that you basically can do at a gym. So basketball, hockey, or floor hockey, things like that. So yeah.
Are those free, Holly? Those activities, are a lot of them free for families?
So again, anything that's in our facilities is a $3 charge or a $10 family pass. Yeah.
Okay, you get the pass, which is nice too. That's something,
yes,
that covers a lot of people doing a lot of fun things in that time. So that's wonderful. That's great.
Now you mentioned free, Judy, and a lot of our special events are free of charge. So we do have the Easter Bunny Hop coming up in April, and so it would be free to families, and it's for all ages, and there'll be jumping castles and games. And 2 years ago, when we were allowed to have it, we had a DJ, so a lot of the kids got up and danced around, and it's a great event. So
yeah, people like that word free because there's not too much in life free anymore.
And
well,
nice. Like I said, we're able to offer them again, so it's nice. It's nice to
yes.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard these days, right? I mean, listen, we talk about the price of gas now is insane, and and there's so many jokes on social media where people are taking out loans to buy a tank of gas, but so for a family to be able to enjoy something free of charge is a wonderful thing. And one of the great things that has popped up lately, and I know, Holly, it doesn't fall within your department, but is the skating oval by the LBA on the east side of Miramichi, and that came about kind of in a wild way. So you know what, as things do, right? So a few of us got tagged in a post. A few of the city councilors got tagged in a post on social media, that someone had seen that kind of skating oval pop up. Of course, the Nigawak one has been in operation for the last couple of years, and I think it came because of COVID. And then there was one in Dieppe, and then some other ones had started popping up, and then we got tagged in a post where, why can't we do this around Middle Island, right? So of course, council got talking about it, and it thankfully everybody, after a lot of conversation, a lot of work by your department, and Director Walsh, we were able to actually have a skating oval here in Miramichi. And so, of course, right after we decided that we were putting it into place, the weather didn't really play a great hand to us, because it started getting mushy, and we got a lot of freezing rain and then a ton of snow. But that is an activity. It is open, and I think it's open 12 to 9 every day, and so it's available free of charge as well.
Yes, and you can actually check out our Facebook page, because any day that there is a closure, we do post for mild weather, excuse me, or slushy conditions. So yeah, but mostly every day it's open, and like you said, free of charge.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Veronique now. Where exactly physically is that in Miramichi, for those who get confused with east, west, and so physically, where is that?
It's the Lord Beaverbrook Arena. So where the big water tower is, where we are the Canada's Irish capital. So right at the Lord Beaverbrook. So that is where it is this year. But we're looking for input from the community on where it should go next year. We're going to do some planning ahead of time, and with a lot of input from our recreation department. And we're hoping to actually, kind of make it a yearly event.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. That sounds fabulous. Holly, what else can you tell us now? The weather is getting milder, like Veronique said, little struggle with keeping an outdoor rink from getting mushy. So what is it that you see coming up for us here in the city for the spring and for the summer as far as activities go? What you got planning?
Well, very exciting summer because like I keep mentioning, we were so restricted for so long. The one thing that I'm most excited about is that day camps are coming back. So
Day
it
camps.
it was a huge service that we offered the city. We had upwards of 160 kids the last year we were operational in 2019. So I'm really looking forward to having that back and putting some planning in there and giving the kids a place to go for the summer. The other programs that I
Yeah.
offer, yeah, are Le Petit Sports. So they're for ages 3 to 5, and it's an introductory program where they come for 40 minutes a day, and it's story and play based. So they get the introductory to tennis and basketball and soccer and golf. So it's a great little program, and we'll do our regular tennis lessons again. And of course, our outdoor pools will be open to the public again, and swimming lessons will be offered there as well. So lots going
I
on.
think it's so important that these programs are being offered. I was having a conversation with somebody just the other day, and I said, one of the saving graces for a lot of kids is having that outlet to engage in extracurricular activities with their friends and even with their family. So you know how we say idle hands will make for trouble sometimes if they have too much time and not enough places or friends even to hang around with, places to go, friends to be with. So do you hear a lot of good, like feel good stories, parents saying, I'm so grateful that my children or my child has a place to go and have so many opportunities for various, you might not be good at one activity, but you might be really good at another. Do you hear a lot of parents saying that these kids are doing so well because of what's offered?
Yes, we do. And a lot of parents have reached out and said that they're very happy to hear that we're going to be back up and running a lot of things. And the other thing that I should mention, and I can't believe I didn't mention sooner, is our all-wheels skate park is going to be opening this summer. So that was a huge project for the recreation department and city council. And yeah, we'll be having a grand opening, and it'll be a great spot for the youth to hang out. It's more neighborhood based, and it's going to be awesome.
That a lot of talk
Yeah,
about
and
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Councillor Duplessis on that one, actually, because that came from him connecting with the kids in his neighborhood and getting their input and actually a drawing from his neighbor. And then he brought it to council and the former council, not the one that's currently here, but the former council. And they saw that vision and they jumped on board. So I really have to give it to them for having the foresight to do it. And then we were able to cap it off this year and get it built. So it's an exciting addition to the downtown.
It was
fabulous.
An exciting project to be on. And what was neat about it is we did an engagement session with the youth, and they were really heard. So we took all of their ideas and sent it to a consultant, and I think they'll be pleased once they see it.
Nice.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah. So the other so dealing with COVID for the last couple of years has been really, really tough for everybody. But from a recreational perspective, like, you guys have had to open and close on a dime so many times. How has that been for you?
Challenging. A lot of rewriting COVID plans. But our part-time staff have been excellent throughout it. They've adapted to the process and what they had to do by letting people into the front doors. And our department has worked, extremely hard throughout the whole time. But we're happy to see it come to an end. We definitely, we adapted the best we could. We did different contests like Light Up Miramichi, and we had a Halloween decorating contest, and we had more and more people walk our trails than ever because they were looking to get out and do recreation the best way they knew how, and we figured it out.
Yes,
absolutely.
Fabulous.
Love it. So we're coming to the end of our segment there, but Holly, I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your favorite program that you administer?
I would have to say the day camps. It's just it's so rewarding when you walk in there and you see the students working with the kids and their smiles and making crafts and they're so excited to show me what they have on the go when I walk in and I'm always getting high fives and hugs and it's just yeah. Yeah. So that's probably
So
my favorite
nice.
overall. Yeah. And then
That's awesome.
I mean my second favorite would probably be my Friday night youth night. So
Yeah.
Good stuff. I love that. How do we get a
Fun.
hold of the rec department?
you can call us at 623-2300 or we have a Facebook page, Miramichi Community Wellness and Recreation, so you can message us through there. And then we have an email, miramichirecreation@miramichi.org.
Do you need volunteers?
Always.
Okay. Good to know.
Good stuff. Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Holly, for joining us today and for all the great work you do for our community and for the city of Miramichi. It was wonderful to have you. So don't go too far, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I am your host today, Veronique Arsenault, and I am joined by my ever fabulous co-host, Judy Loge and Audrey Lynch, of course.
Hello again, everybody. We're back.
we should have a ta-da.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Anyway, we just finished a fantastic segment with Holly Allison from the City of Miramichi Recreation Department. So much going on. And now we get to do some more outdoor stuff. And we're going to welcome our next guest, Paul Hill, who is the president of Bike Miramichi, Inc. Welcome, Paul.
Good afternoon, good evening. I guess it is now, eh?
Hello.
I know it's one of those things you're never quite sure what to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're so glad to have you, Paul. We're so glad to have you, and we're really excited to learn all about Bike Miramichi Inc. And I keep saying it that way because I want to make sure that I'm getting the title right. But before we get into that, and of course we know you, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Paul Hill. I was born in Newcastle. Moved to Chatham. Married my wife here, Deborah. A fantastic wife. Just retired school teacher this year. I have two lovely daughters. One's in the area as a respiratory therapist, Taylor, and Catherine's in Halifax. She's a speech pathologist. Very proud of them. They've done a great job.
Really good job. Great careers.
Beautiful. Yeah, great careers. Smart. Yeah, never have to worry about them. Yeah,
I know.
And I have
That's so nice.
And the neighborhood princess is little Maya, my little Westie here. She's follows me around everywhere.
I see Maya.
Yeah. Paul, can you tell us how the Bike Miramichi group came to be?
Well, in the early 90s, a fellow by the name of Aaron Furshaw, he's the first guy to kind of start this bike club rolling. Like they had mountain bike trails in the Cove, and he wanted to get groups together to go out and ride these. And they had a pretty good following back then. And in 2012, we became incorporated, and it just kept growing and growing, and now we have the French Fir Cove, tremendous mountain bike trails, probably some of the best in Atlantic Canada, winter and summer. And and so it just keeps growing every year. Get more people involved. What we're trying to do now is get more youth involved with our club. With something we lack right now. Like our average age right now is 53, 54. That's sad to say that.
Okay.
It's true.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's a fact. Paul, how did you personally get involved in this bike group? Take us back to what piqued your interest.
Well, I worked at the mill. A lot of the guys there were members of the bike club, and I always thought they were crazy. They spent this big dollars for these bikes, and they were going out doing all these evening rides. And it took me 3 or 4 years. I think I want to try it. So I went. I bought a cheap bike, and I was hooked from then on. It must have been probably 10 years now. Yeah,
Amazing
so really enjoy it.
Wow.
So you're all
Fantastic
buffed
exercise.
and fit now, Paul, right?
I
You're
don't know
all
about that.
toned and, you must be, all that biking you're doing.
Yeah, we do a lot of biking.
Fantastic.
We've been out every day in the last 2 weeks, practically. Yeah.
Yes, now that the better weather is coming around, like
Yeah.
good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, nice.
So I'm gonna veer a little bit here because I'm really curious about this piece. So especially because I don't understand it in the winter. Okay, so I understand the whole biking during the summer thing, but biking in the winter, do you need like a specific kind of bike?
Yes, you do. You need we prefer that you have a bike with a wheel size bigger than 3 inches, 3.5, 4.5, 5-inch tire. They're called fat bikes or a plus bike. We groom the trails. We have 2 snowmobiles, 3 groomers, and after every storm we go out, we pack the trails, and we're grooming for snowshoers, walkers, and bikers. Some trails are dedicated just for walkers, and some trails are dedicated for snowshoes and bikes only. And it's like the rink. When conditions get soft, we try to get people to stay off of them because it makes a mess.
Yeah. And that's in French Fork Cove, eh? That you groom.
That's
those
a French
trails?
Fork Cove. Yeah, we have probably 20 kilometers of groomed trails in back there.
Is there anything that the group has been working on specifically?
Well, this summer we did a mountain bike trail for the King Street Elementary School in behind the school. They were in desperate need of for snowshoeing, cross country skiing, and they have a bike club there as well. So the school got a grant. They supplied the equipment. We went and we built them the trail, and they're having a great time with it. They're skiing on it. They're biking on it, and they're actually there was a student, Mr. Como from Jameson Hill. He applied for a grant through Bike Miramichi, and he's purchasing a few fat bikes for the district, and that all the schools are going to be able to use at the French Fork Cove.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
Fabulous.
For sure. We were saying earlier, we were talking to Holly, as you know, with the recreation department, all the different programs, and how important it is to, with families coming into our city, to offer such wonderful, recreational activities. So again, with the biking, why do you personally feel it's so important to encourage others to become part of this bike group?
Healthy living, Judy. It's just to get out. You can't. There's no way you can be in the French Fork Cove biking or walking and be in a bad mood. It's impossible. Your mental health, that's the best fix for you. Is go for a walk over there. You'll come out feeling like $1 million.
It's true. Like, mental health for sure. I mean, yes, you're getting obviously your physical activity, but as you just said, mental health, which Audrey and I and Veronique are always talking about, is so key, to healthy living. If you don't have your mental health, you could walk all day long, but once you get out in that fresh air and see other people and nature, it just becomes better and better. So yeah, that's really important. Thank you.
And you wouldn't believe the views. Like people never walk back there; they never see it. It's amazing. It's all gorge. It's it's breathtaking. And
do you see an improvement in your mental health?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah. So it's just a 100% great thing.
Yeah.
So you talked about the need and the desire to get more youth involved, and it's funny, Paul, that you say the average age is 53 because most of the organizations I belong to, it's the same thing, right? I'm often the youngest in the room, and I'm 49, so I shouldn't be. Talk to us a little bit about what the group is working on right now, and I know you talked about the King Street project. So what's the group working on now, and what can people get involved in? What can the youth get involved in at this time?
At this point right now, our biggest project now is just grooming. After we went out this morning, we groomed for 3 hours, and it's just we really can't get any volunteers until we get the summer projects. We build trails, we trim trails, we build crossings. This is all the money all comes from membership. And we always look for volunteers for that sort of thing. This time of year is pretty quiet, unless we got a big ice storm. We'd have to go in. We'd have to cut all the trees and trails. But usually in the summer, we'll have 2 or 3 work days where we'll go in and we'll manicure a trail, take all the old rocks and stumps out, smooth it out. And there's times that we'll take a project, we'll build a whole new trail. So that's when we'll be looking for volunteers. And we usually post that on our Facebook page that we'll be doing a project, and everyone's welcome to come out. We supply all the tools. We have powered wheelbarrows and picks and axes and shovels and
yes, so
all the good stuff. Yeah.
So what about if I'm interested in joining this group and being part of it and giving it a try, how much money am I going to have to invest? Or is it going to cost me to go out and buy this really expensive bike to start off to find out whether or not this is for me? Like, what's the best way for a newbie to get started?
I would recommend, if you're like the winter fat biking, you can go to Quack and you can rent the bikes there and you can try it.
Oh, okay.
This is something down the road that we might be doing here in the city. I think there's a bike rental. Bathurst does it. They do a fat bike rental in Bathurst. So you can go to Quack, try it. And a good entry-level bike is probably going to cost you about $1,000.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That would be an entry level.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the fat bikes for winter driving.
The fat bikes, the winter tire.
Because I would be more concerned. I would be more concerned that, say, this summer you're talking about French Fork Cove. It sounds beautiful. I grab one of my kids' bikes out of the shed, which is not quite more than likely built for the French Fork Cove trails, and then I get out there, and I could probably really hurt myself.
Well, you could try. Most of our trails are pretty smooth. Smooth. But you like to have at least a front suspension on your bike, just to get out and try it. Or you can always contact us and we'll hook you up. We'll sit down a bike and take you out and let you try it.
I think the 3 of us should go together.
I think
I'm busy when you guys go.
We just had.
I think we should bring a bloopers reel with us.
I had a couple up from St. John last week, and they had e-bikes, electric fat bikes.
Oh,
I've heard of those.
And they were 65 years old, these people, and they were amazing. Like they were just ripping it up. They were
wow.
Yeah.
And you can get those. Yeah, they're pedal assist. You still have to pedal.
Yes. I tried one. I did try one, and I thought I was able to get up those harder hills. It kicks in and assists and gives you a little hand. Yeah, I loved it. Those are probably a little pricier too, though.
They're a little pricier. Exactly. Yeah.
But what a worthwhile investment, right? Really worthwhile.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It is.
Yes.
But Audrey brought up a good point. It's that safety factor, because we tend to be a little bit accident prone, all of us. So what kind of safety gear should I have if I'm riding a bike, even just down the street, or if I want to go through French Fork Cove?
Number one, a helmet. It's mandatory to have a helmet to drive in the French Fork Cove.
Okay.
It's mandatory.
Okay.
We have the odd person that comes in and we tell them, look, you can't ride here unless you have a helmet.
No.
Perfect.
It happens. Accidents happen,
know,
right?
For sure. Yeah.
So helmet for sure, and then you can wear the shin pads and elbow pads as well if you want to. Some people do.
Right.
That would be
you did talk. You mentioned volunteers a couple of times, but just how in need are you of volunteers at this point, and what are you looking for as far as hours committed, or just can someone just go for a little bit of time, or you're needing people to go for longer durations because there's a lot of area to cover, or what are you needing volunteer work for, and how badly? Right now,
we're no need of any volunteers. We have all our groomers. It's come the summer. It comes the summer and fall, spring, summer, fall.
Yeah.
Like we'll take now this spring we'll go in with we have 2 leaf blowers. We blow off all the trails. We move all the debris, leaves, and people can volunteer for that. We have ripper snippers. We trim the trails back probably late June, early July. And then come September, fall, we go through and we blow all the leaves off the trails. So that the following year, the trails, so not only fun to ride in the fall when they're all blown off, they dry up quicker in the next year.
In the spring.
Right on. Sounds
amazing.
Good. Really well taken care of.
You mentioned membership fees, and that's how the club continues on. So, how do I become a member? What's the fee, and how do I get a hold of you?
The membership fee is on our Facebook page. It's the top of the page there. It's $35 for the spring, summer, fall, and then $25 for the winter, or $50 for the full season. And that goes towards, like you say, building crossings. We have 5 crossings. They're average probably $1,100 a piece to build, plus, and it's all volunteer. Maintenance of our equipment, buy new trail tools. So it all goes towards that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Very good.
And and you have a Facebook page. What's the Facebook page called?
It's Bike Miramichi Inc. on Facebook. Bike Miramichi. Yeah.
Awesome.
We have, I think, 730 members on that page right now, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's not too bad.
That's excellent.
That's not paying members. Those are just Facebook pages.
Yeah. Facebook. Okay.
We probably have.
So how many bikers do you have?
We probably have. Well, they're all bikers, but we probably have 30 or 33 paying members.
Okay.
Memberships.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Which allows them to use the trails.
And anybody can use the trails. Anybody can bike on the trails. This is a bike membership. If someone was to come up from down, like say Moncton or Fredericton or St. John, there's no fee to use. We're in a partnership with the city right now, and they're giving us a little budget to help us maintain for the winter trails. And so that covers all that. The membership fee is just for our general upkeep of the trails, building new trails, crossings, that sort of thing.
I like your bikes in the background. I think I'll take the orange one because I match it. I'll be right down.
That's the fat one.
Know where you live.
That's the fat bike.
Look at how thick that tire
Wide
is.
the tires.
That's 4.5 inch, and it has studs in the tires.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Really.
So you're working. Well, I know we're almost done. You're working towards bike rentals, maybe in the city.
The city's looking at that down the road, I think. Yes.
Okay.
They discussed it with us. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we really want to thank you for all that you're doing for the community and everything that you're doing there in French Fort Cove. It's a beautiful area, there's no question. But thanks for joining us today and telling us more about Bike Miramichi. So, for everybody at home, head on over to the Facebook page and get involved, especially in that spring, summer timeframe when they really need people. And thanks, Paul, for everything you're doing.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.